Hello, full disclaimer here. I'm an Alabama fan. I watched my first game in 1963, so I've been watching for a while. Grew up in Alabama, but have since lived all over the world. But no matter where I was, no matter the time zone, I always watched the games because each and every one came on live, maybe at 2 in the morning, maybe 3. So there's this cliche that why would I go to the stadium among 100,000 people when I can have a better view from my couch in front of the TV? And that there's a reason it's called a cliche and not a truism, because it's, in the case of Alabama, the stadium in Tuscaloosa, absolutely false. In fact, I sat on the Texas side behind the Texas bench as you're looking at it, up to the left and high enough to where I could see the entire field. So when I got home, I reviewed the game as it was broadcast on TV, and it was almost like I saw 2 different games. So what I'm going to give is the coulda, woulda, shoulda, and what the fans were saying sitting in the field, at the field during the game. There were 2 things that I noticed and people around me noticed. The first was difficulty between the center and snap on the majority of the plays. And the second was, and maybe it's has to do with the first, is the inability of Milroe to read the field. So let's take a look at the first. See what we're talking about here. See how Jason ducks, but when he catches the ball, take a look at what Ewers did. The ball was up, he was ready for the play, he was looking down the field, and that's how he received the snap. Again, Milroe, the moment the force is down into the ground, so you have to get past that force in order to start the play. So the play was slow to start. Here, same thing. You can see in slow motion, he ducks down, and the play is impeded. Again, Ewer catches it high, the ball's in throwing position from the start, he's looking down the field, there's no problem, and he completes a pass. Here it is in full speed. Again, Milroe, the snap is down towards the ground, is where the moment arm goes, delays the play. He's looking at his receiver and he throws the interception. So the plays always seem just a little bit off. Again, the moment arm down, the force is down. You have to overcome that to start the play. And then you can see that the center had difficulties. I'm not blaming Milroe. Maybe there were difficulties with the center the whole time. I'm not sure, but everybody was commenting on it around where I was sitting. There were 3 that actually hit the ground, and amazingly enough, they usually ended in a decent play, but that's not the way things are supposed to start on a play. There's the second one. And Milroe, I think, actually threw a touchdown on this particular play. Maybe it's like a punt that gets muffed. Sometimes you're lucky. But I don't think every play should start that way. I don't think it puts the offense in a position to be successful with the play. The second is throwing into double, triple, quadruple coverage. And associated with that, we don't have any clips of that because they didn't show it on TV, the wide open receivers that were missed. Okay, on the interception, oh, I'm sorry, this isn't the interception. Even on a successful play, you can see that there was, I think, triple coverage there, but then also there was a mess up in that there are 3 receivers in the same area. So there's 4 Texas guys and 3 Alabama receivers. So maybe Milroe should not have thrown that ball. Maybe that was a time to use his elite speed and his evasiveness to go around the end, or even chuck the thing out of bounds. I realize that it's a first down, but you got to protect the ball. That was a risky throw. Again, the force is into the ground. He's looking at the receivers. staring them down, and there's the first interception. Didn't go well. And there's the double coverage, and it wasn't as if the guys were in a crowd. They were off by themselves to the side. They were the only 3 people out there, so they were easy to see. Here's another pass into triple coverage. And here's the second interception into triple coverage again. Those 4 people, the Alabama receiver and the 3 defenders, were the only people standing out there. The angle on the TV makes it look like it was crowded. It wasn't. They were out in the field by themselves, very easy to see, and it just happened. And there were a number of times where wide open receivers were waving their arms, jumping up and down with easy touchdowns, and for some reason Jalen did not see them. Now here are 2 plays that would have changed the nature of the game, and from my angle I could see that they were wide open, and I could see that the defenders could not have converged. The first is a pass out in the flat. TV makes it look crowded. It wasn't, and he just kind of tripped over a piece of grass or something. And the second, right there. So what happened there was the back slowed down after the ball was thrown. Now he was on a swing pass. A lot of times backs slow down, turn, and when they're on swing passes, and then speed up again. So Jalen threw the ball, perfect pass. The back slowed down just a step or 2, and then the ball was just out of his arm, out of his reach. So anyway, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Those are some observations from the stands. Support Alabama to the hilt. Support Jalen Milroe and the coaching staff, and they need to get things turned around. Roll Tide.